Kodem Kol Kavod, Liyahuah Kadosh Israel, Selah. I might be dumb, I might be a little slow, so I need somebody to explain to me why in the world today do we have this excessive need to just be naked? I mean, from celebrities to the people that, everyday people, we all have this weird, infatuation with being naked. Infatuation, is that how you say that? With being naked. And I use the term being naked as a term of you want to show as much skin as possible. And I don't understand why it's being pushed and promoted, especially to black culture. Especially that black American look. When you think of black artists, especially, and I'm gonna say especially female artists, everybody has to be wearing as minimal clothes as possible, talking about crazy stuff. But today we're just gonna focus on why do they have to just not, be modest? What happened to sophistication, to modesty, to mystery? Before, back in the day, you would be able to look at somebody and, you don't know what everything looks like. Nowadays, I ain't gotta see you naked. I ain't gotta court you. I ain't gotta talk to you. I just look at you walking down the street and you naked. From the average looking chick, it's just like the fashion, everything is just promoted to this way of thinking, which is like over sexual and it's just, what I'm saying? Everything is so sexual, and simultaneously there's this huge mission to stop, what they call it, objectifying women. And I think one of the biggest scams ever is telling women, body positivity or, freedom and equality is being naked. Make that make sense. So the highest form of, not being objectified is objectifying yourself, essentially. Making yourself an easy target for somebody to objectify you. It's kind of like saying, oh man, I want to eat a healthier diet. This is why you need to eat KFC. Make that make sense. But you see, what is somebody's intentions when telling you about doing this? My intentions, I'll tell you my intentions. I'm a big fan of modesty. I think modesty is sexy. Personally, I've tested my own philosophy, and I've gone and I've talked to, I've dated, I've, messed around with people who aren't so modest. And each time I was like, there's modesty thing. There's something to it. Because there's also a particular a set of characteristics that come along with dressing a certain type of way. You see people who dress crazy and shirt this and shirt that, and chances are they're gonna tell you something about my body, my choice. I can do whatever I want. Nothing matters. Why not just jump off a bridge? Those people. You don't say stuff like that, but you have an understanding that these aren't people who think very logically. They think very emotionally of this makes me feel this type of way. That's why I do it. Now, granted, you should do things that make you feel good. Yes, but there's a limit to that. There's an upper limit to that, and it shouldn't be that the rest of us have to live in a world where you feel like, oh man, I look good. And okay, here's a not so popular opinion, right? If you're a rabbit and you're in the forest, convincing yourself you're a wolf doesn't make you any more of a wolf to the wolf that's going to eat you, because that's what wolves do. Wolves eat rabbits. Everybody understands. But you wanting to be a wolf and you running around the forest like, I'm a wolf, doesn't make you any more of a wolf because you're just a rabbit. And guys are guys. There's always going to be men who don't care about the parameters of society that we create. There's always going to be people who murder. There's always going to be people who steal, who kill, who lie, who every other crime you can think of that's quote unquote immoral. Yeah, there's people who are going to do that regardless. But here's the thing. You need to act like those people exist and not put yourself in their way. So whether that guy exists, sure, he's existing over there. I'm going this way. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm a strong guy, let me go over there. And then I get killed and I'm like, man, you shouldn't have done that. It's like, no, you sure he shouldn't have done that, but you also have a part to play in your own demise. And understanding that being naked all the time, men are very visual creatures, we're very sexually testosterone, all that good stuff kind of people. You're not changing that about, guys. And for the percentage of men that you've changed that about, it doesn't change the fact that there's also a large population of men who are looking at the world, and you see a naked lady, you're gonna look. Like you see a girl with a big nyash, you're gonna look. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that guys aren't gonna look regardless, but why make it so easy for them? Also, I feel like dressing a certain type of way is a very good indication of how you see yourself in regards to your own self-respect. You know, like, let's go to Dululu land. So let's say guys had nothing to do with the equation, right? Let's say guys weren't this, whatever. Don't you have enough self-respect for yourself to not be seen dressed any type of way? I'm just saying. And my other question is, who's telling you this is cute? Because these chicks ain't getting married. These chicks, they the ones, oh, get your bag up, get your money up. You know why? Because there's no man up. There's no man at home. It's a sad little reality. You naked by yourself. I know there's one girl, she was telling me how like she buys lingerie just in case. I'm like, that's so sad. Maybe if you stop being a hoe, you'd actually get a good guy. Instead of making yourself feel good by buying lingerie so one day you can potentially get the guy you want. Instead, you can become the woman the guy you wants, and then, you know, the whole little cycle is completed. And it's so funny how the thought process isn't being a Hebrew, it doesn't shield you from that reality. You still have people who they get out of their bubble. And I really do believe that something we should do in the kingdom is to send like 18, 19-year-olds away for a good year or two to see what the world would be like. You know, get them out of that little bubble of that community we live in. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, it gives you a very narrow view of the world. And once you get out there, you know, you kind of let loose because you've been boxed up for so long. But how people view you matters. How you present yourself matters. So regardless of how smart you are, if you're more interested in being naked and being perceived as a boss babe, hot babe, oh bad bitch, hot girl summer, la la la, la la la, all just, I mean, levels of BS that is unknown to man. It's mad. Not gonna lie to you. The self-delulu is what's really, I think that's the most interesting part to me, is because people genuinely believe what they're doing is like good in a way, or it's not good, but it's not bad. They don't think it's not bad, which is interesting because the fact that something isn't bad isn't any indication that it's good. So the fact that people are like, oh, you can do whatever you want. No, let's bring back telling people no. Let's bring back diaries, shame, and I don't know who you've been talking to because you don't hear that from me. Let's bring that back. I think that will solve a lot of these problems. And the problem is we see all these things promoted in music and movies. So every music video you see, there's somebody naked. Every single video. There's not a video that's coming out from mainstream media in the music industry that isn't somebody naked or some guy talking about naked and people just being naked. And what's funny is the more you see something, the more you desensitize to it. So seeing a half-naked chick walk down the street talking about, I'm going to the club with a see-through dress and some stripes like this, barely covering her cleavage, and it's like, man, she's so brave for that. Brave? Brave is what we're going with? Brave? Like there's guys who fighting in war. I have a friend in special forces. He's brave. The naked chick down the street is an idiot because she'll wear that and then get on TikTok like, oh, you know, these guys are looking at me in the gym. Oh, men are dogs. Oh, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. No homo. If a naked guy was walking down the street, I'm like, what's wrong with him? Like, I'm looking at you like, what's wrong with you? If there was anybody naked walking down the street, what's wrong with you is the first thing that pop up in my head. Something in my eye. The first thought that popped up in my head is, what's wrong with you? Have you no decency? Have you no self-respect? Who raised you? But then you look at your mama, and your mama is naked too. And it's so sad because, oh, I want to be free. I want to be best friends with my daughter. Let's go to Dubai, and let's do crazy stuff together. Let's go do this. And what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Have some decorum. Have some self-respect. Like, people don't do stuff. No, people don't let the fact that it'll reflect badly on their family stop them from doing stuff no more. Let's bring that back. I'm not gonna do that because my family is gonna think I'm crazy. And I can't be having my family look crazy because, well, they're my family. You know, the people I care about. But the problem is the people who are now put up on this pedestal type of way to look up to as parents, as figures, you know, as inspirations, everybody's naked. I mean, look, every female rapper would look up to Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion. You see these crackheads, everybody's naked. They make their money off sexual content. You know, that's why I do a lot of influencers, right? And I don't like lifestyle influencers who promote this. It's like, oh, day in life, get ready with me. But there's all that subliminal sexual stuff. Just do your content. Why you gotta try to seduce me in the meantime? I'm okay. I don't need to see you naked. Oh, don't wear no bra. Oh, free the titty. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Haram. Brother, it's wrong. Like, what's wrong with you, man? We gotta do better for ourselves. Because here's the thing though, the same chicks that's looking up to Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are gonna try to put those aspects of their lives into, you know, reality, and it doesn't blend. Because most guys, if you ask them, would you want your girl naked for everybody to see? Most guys will say no. Well, any guy with some self-respect. But most of these guys not down here. Calm down. All right. But most of the guys in the world today, especially the Western world, everybody is like, oh, she can do whatever she want. Oh, her body, her choice. And if you say something, toxic masculinity, don't get me started on that phrase. It is the dumbest thing since feminism. I said it. There you go. But like, why is women empowerment, and I'm genuinely asking for a friend and myself. Can someone explain to me the correlation between women empowerment, feminism, and the best thing for you to do as a feminist is be naked? Explain that to me. Why are feminist and women empowerment movements pushing women to be naked? Because guys aren't changing, so guys are looking at women the same way they always have. And if you say, oh, we should change women, sure, yeah, and I want a pony for my birthday, and I want Bob to be my uncle. But guess what? Santa's not coming this year. So shut up and let's get back to reality. So, since reality is what it's always been, the world is what it's always been, at one level or another. Down to like the social constructs, sure. But social constructs don't change the biological differences and the biological urges people have. Just like I don't care how much you tell a 14-year-old boy, oh yeah, don't look at women. You know he's gonna look up on the internet? Naked women. You know why? Because that's what you're thinking about at 14 years old. I don't care how much social adjusting and social whatever teaching you give somebody. People are gonna be people. There's no social nothing that can change how they are. But why is there this big push? Like it's deliberate. It's not like, oh, subliminal messages. I can't decipher the code. No, it's right there. It's right there. Starting from the early 2000s, it's just been more naked and more naked and more naked and more naked. Now you can just be naked. Now there's no threshold. There's no upper limit. It's just naked. You're just expected to be naked. You got people like Ice Spice getting on stage and just shaking ash. Just nash out. So what's wrong with you? I'm here for a concert. My daughter's here. I just know my daughter wouldn't be there because I have home training, decorum, self-respect. But for the people whose daughters are there, yeah, tough for you, my boy. But why do people like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, Glorilla, all of these people are very new on the scene, and they're all being promoted because they sell one thing: sex. But here's the thing, though. I think the study said 60% of men aren't in relationships. So a bunch of guys not in relationships being sold sex. What's on your mind? Sex. Naked women. So of course your male brain is like, man, these naked chicks everywhere. What's a man gonna do? Right? Here's the thing. Most guys can be like, all right, I'm gonna go out, talk to a lady, la la la. Some other people can't really fight those urges. You know, some people don't have that mental voice in their head that's like, don't do it, George. You get what I'm saying? Don't do it. But some people don't have that. So the people who don't have that, they're being sold sex like everybody else. And what they do? Oh, they do dumb stuff. And it's like, I can't believe these guys did these such horrible things. Really? Really? Are you surprised the wolf ate the rabbit? Who's surprised? I'm not. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? And let's not play this whole women can do everything men can. Stop. Listen. You can spar, match. A crazy guy who's just a ravaged crackhead, and I don't care how much training you had. It's like Superman fighting Lois Lane. Hard to hear, hard to see, worse to imagine, but true. Superman, Lois Lane. It's a tough match. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of brutal. You don't want to really be there. It'll be over quick. But that's a reality. And trying to act like reality doesn't matter. And people trying to warp reality into what they want it to be to make them feel good. It's madness. But listen, live in your own delulu. Live in your own delusion. But don't try to play it like it's not a delusion. You can sit there all day and talk about, you know, I was telling my girlfriend, shout out to you, about how people talk about progression and equality until things hit the fan. Look at Ukraine, right? So women in Ukraine, oh, progress, oh, we could do whatever men can, la la la, la la la. War breaks out, guess what? Oh, we're just women, oh, I'm just a girl. Oh, women and children, what happened to women and children? Open up your countries to women and children, yeah. Who's still there? The men, fighting. Now, it's the responsibility of a man to protect. Yes, fair enough. But let's not live in your own delusion that we're all equal and we can all do the same things, because when things go to crap, you revert back to your traditional roles, just like you expect, and what's the word? You degrade any man who doesn't, which is more interesting. It's one thing to expect somebody to do something, but for them to not do it and then you go, oh, what kind of man doesn't stand fight in the country? Well, I thought equality, you know? World War III, things around the corner somewhere. I expect to see 50-50 women. 50% women, 50% males. Oh yeah. I want to be drafted right next to Gal Jaroge. I want to be drafted next to her. Because we equal, right? Oh no, I'm just a girl. Oh, demure. Stupid fucking word. It's so stupid. But like, I know it's stupid, you know it's stupid. Let's agree it's stupid so we can both move on with our lives. But let's not, that's my thing. Let's not play like it is something that it isn't. And the fact that somebody's pushing you, right? Somebody's pushing you to believe that being naked all the time is somehow empowering, but also somehow keeping you safe. First thing, I'll say safe from who, right? Because guys are getting killed out here too, you know, shout out to them. But why do you think that if women are, there's this thing, violence against women, la la la, can we understand, sympathize, listen, everybody deserves to be safe. Also, you should have your safety as the top priority of your life, right? I can want you to be safe. Like if I see something happening, I'm like, hey dude, stop that, whatever, right? But then if I say that and then you leave and you go back, I'm leaving. I'm going home. Because obviously your safety is not on the list of your priorities. So when I look on the news the next day, KTN, and they're like, women killed and wrong guy. I'm like, I don't see the wrong guy. And I see the picture, I'm just like, this chick. And I see the picture of the guy, I'm like, listen, sympathy, nobody's life should be taken. Yes. But you have to take responsibility for your part to play in what happens to you. Now, in the case of like children, listen, yeah, 2 shots to the head, bury them in the backyard. It's a done deal. But for you to be an adult and understand how the world actually works, at what point do you take responsibility? And if not, listen, if you don't want to take responsibility, fine. But let's not play like the world isn't what it is. Because men, we understand what the world is like. So we understand that we need to protect you. But for you to say, oh, I don't need to be protected, oh, I can do whatever I want, fine. But when I'm sitting on the sidelines, I'm like, that's crazy. Don't walk up to me no more. You a man. What happened to being a man? Nah, calm down. You don't get to play both sides. You don't get to play, I don't need nobody and I need somebody. Pick one and stick with it. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's the problem. But the delusion of I can wear whatever I want gives you the reassurance. It gives you the false reassurance that the world isn't what it is. And it's very dangerous. You see this with, black people in the US. They get famous, they get some money, and they start doing what white people do. Like when a black guy does drugs, you're going to jail. When a white person does drugs, it's like, it's an illness. We gotta help him. We gotta help him out. No, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. Just like if you are a woman and you wear whatever you want, boss babe, I don't care nobody, hot girl summer, don't need a man. Listen, when some guy says something stupid, because again, let's remember, there's always going to be guys who say something stupid for the only reason of they don't care. Simple, they don't care. And they don't have to care. And fair enough. But when a guy says something stupid because you decide to wear something, I would say stupid, don't look at me. What are you looking at me for? Oh, I can't believe he said that. Babe, what you gonna do? Listen, I tried to tell you. But you miss know it all. Oh, don't need a man. Well, I'm just a friend. That's like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You dig? But we have to get out of this delusion. Because here's the thing. Someone's benefiting off your naivety. And I'm saying that nicely because I don't want to say stupidity. And I've said stupidity enough. But I'm going to say stupidity. It's stupid, right? So someone's benefiting off your stupidity. Someone's benefiting off your loss. And understanding why do they want you to be naked? Why do they want to push you to be naked? Because it's not, and I wish it was just being naked. I wish it was just wearing promiscuous clothing. I wish it was that. But everybody say that, there's this saying about what you wear is a reflection of who you are and how you feel about yourself. So if you're wearing promiscuous clothing, right? Stay with me. I commend you to wear promiscuous clothing. The people I promote to you who wear these promiscuous clothing are talking about doing promiscuous things. So you're wearing promiscuous clothing, you're listening to promiscuous people talk about doing promiscuous things, wearing promiscuous clothing. What do you think the likelihood is of you, wait a minute, doing promiscuous things? Like the person you're listening to is promoting every single day. 7 p.m. Friday, 95 degree. Oh, shake that for Drake, shake it for me. Say, Lil, you can't mess with me if you. Why get some What you think you'll be doing? What do you think the end result of this is? Now, what do you think the end result of that is? Oh, STDs. Oh, baby mama. Because, I mean, the guys you messing with aren't necessarily uplifting men, you know? These aren't, standard, get the good one. These aren't the good ones. These aren't the good ones. I'll tell you that for free. These aren't the good ones. At least not now. But these aren't the good ones. So you're dealing with men who are very okay with promiscuous women. Now, they might be there for a good time, not a long time. So let's say you get pregnant. Oh, you don't know who the daddy is. So you find a daddy. Boom. So one of, 5 promiscuous dudes? Lovely. So you talk to that guy, and he's like, oh, I'm not ready to settle down. Also, you a hoe. So why am I settling down with a hoe? And suddenly, yeah, you're a baby mama. Oh, guess what? Child support. Or guess what? You have to work. So you know who takes care of your children? Let's say together. The government. Yeah, they take care of your kids. You know what they're teaching their kids? You know what they're teaching your kids? Glorilla, Ice Spice. These are all byproducts of a system that is working. It's working against you. So the same people who are promoting Ice Spice want you to be like Ice Spice so you can do Ice Spice stuff. You're not gonna get rich. Let's be serious. The money of Ice Spice you're not really getting. You do promiscuous stuff. You have promiscuous outcomes. Promiscuous outcomes have promiscuous consequences, and the cycle continues. And the funny thing is, it's not like you're gonna stop listening to that because you don't think this stuff you're listening to has any effect on your actions. You just think, oh, it's just music, it don't mean nothing. That is the dumbest, actually there's 3 top dumbest things ever. Being naked, feminism, and what was it? Oh yeah, it's just music. It don't matter. We already had 3. Look at that, imagine 3. But I'm telling you, it's all connected. Everything matters. Who you talk to, what you listen to, what you eat, what you wear. Everything matters. And no matter what somebody try to convince you of, first impressions really do last. And if my first impression of you is you look like a hoe, chances are I'm gonna look at you like a hoe. Chances are I'm gonna treat you like a hoe. Chances are everybody else will too. And who wants a life like that? Nobody. So stop dressing like a hoe if you don't want to be seen as a hoe. Have a y'all blessed day. Y'all kind.